Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Monday Yoga. My name's Susie. For those who might not have been here before, this is a 30-minute practice to help you kind of relax and rewind, unwind, should I say. So just a quick reminder, just always listen to your body. This is a chance for you to tune in. We're not going to be pushing through any boundaries or anything crazy like that. This is very much a chance for you to follow along, but remember, you are your best teacher. I'm here as a guide. But if something doesn't feel good in your body today, please stop, do child's pose, take a break, adjust however you need to. So let's get started. Sitting in an easy cross-legged position. You can always prop yourself up on a cushion or a yoga block. You're also welcome to sit with the legs out in front. And another option is to sit with the legs in a nice scissored shape. And just to take a moment to get ready, to get settled in, we're just going to soften the shoulders, maybe give them a little wiggle. Take a couple of gentle breaths in and out, resting the arms somewhere on the legs, kind of taking a moment to let the rest of the day melt away and come to the present moment. So anchoring our attention to our breath, I'd like you to softly close your eyes, lower your chin. And now take a nice deep breath in, feeling the belly rise as you inhale and soften as you exhale. Let's repeat that 3 more times. So a nice big inhale, really feeling the body expand with the breath in, and then gently soften with the breath out. You can breathe in again, nice big breath in. And a full exhale. Last time, breath in. And exhale. Drop the chin in towards the chest and gently open the eyes. And then lift the chin. And imagine you've got a paintbrush on your nose and you're going to draw some circles with that paintbrush on an imaginary wall in front of you. So we're doing some small movements for the head, just kind of going around in one direction. And you can start to make the circles a little bigger, making your paintbrush move in a wider circle, and then change direction. So going back, drawing a circle and that imaginary wall in front of you. And you can make these circles smaller now. And finish up back at the center. And then we're going to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder so we can get a gentle stretch down the left side. Could help to even reach the left arm away. Good. Slowly come back to center and then go over to the other side. So you'll be doing the opposite to me, left ear towards left shoulder, and you can always reach the right arm away. See if that makes any difference. You could always move the arm forward or back. And then come back to center. Do a couple of shoulder rolls now, taking the shoulders up and back in a couple of big circles. And then go in the other way. Hug the shoulders forward in some big circles. Good. And then we'll do a couple of gentle twists. We're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to cross the right hand to the left knee and then lift the left arm up and do a big reach backwards, taking the hand to the floor behind you. Inhale again, lengthen the crown of the head up, and then exhale into a gentle twist looking out to the left. Trying to keep the hips square and feel the rotation through the middle of the body. Good. Big breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to lift the arms up and over and switch sides, taking the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale into a gentle twist. So again, we're not forcing into the twist here because we're still waking up the body, warming up a little bit. Big breath in. And now keep the left hand on that right knee, but take the right arm up and over so you can cross the hands. And then gently make a C shape. So curving the back, drop the chin in towards the chest and for a gentle stretch here, creating space between the shoulder blades. And you can try to deepen the stretch in the upper back. Good, lift up. And then take this right arm back, left arm back. Push the fingertips into the floor behind you, kind of tenting the fingers a little bit for a little bit of pressure, and then lift the heart center up. Maybe even lift the chin if it feels okay for your neck, and gently squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. So now we're opening up across the sternum. Big breath in. Exhale, lower the chin. And now I've got to remember the other cross. You're going to take your right arm over to the left knee, left arm over. Hopefully that's right. We're going to come into this gentle kind of cat stretch for the spine, dropping the chin between the arms, finding some space between the shoulders. Good. Breathing in. Full exhale. Lift the arms up and back behind you for one more little opener for the front of the heart center, across the top of the chest. Push the fingers into the floor, a little activation for the arms, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Maybe lift the chin, look up, breath in, and exhale, release. Good. Wiggle the shoulders, just let them relax for a minute, and let's make our way to a tabletop. Knees are underneath the hips, hands are underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide and press the feet and the hands into the floor. And just notice a little bit of activation there, and then let that relax a little bit. And then we're going to breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, push the floor away, come into a cat stretch, looking back towards your legs. Inhale, gently flex the spine in the opposite direction. So you're looking up, tailbone up, breath in. And exhale, back into cat. Now I'll let you move with your own breath here for a few more rounds. Inhaling into cow stretch, exhaling into the cat. And you can also begin to add a little bit of free movement, maybe moving from left to right, maybe wiggling the shoulders, move the hips. You could even do some circles, moving the hips around and the shoulders, going in both directions. Kind of feel and listen to what your spine would like today. You know, you don't have to do these stretches too deeply. A little bit of flexion is still going to help to mobilize that area. Good. And then make your way to child's pose. So taking the hips down over the heels, you can take the knees wide and stretch the arms out along the mat in front of you, pressing the arms into the floor. Then let's walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Pressing the hands into the floor so you can draw the left hip away and feel this nice opening through the left side of the body. To deepen that stretch a little bit, you can cross the left hand on top of the right and notice how that feels. Where do you feel the difference? Does it feel better to go back to hands separate, or do you like the hands on top of each other? Take a couple of breaths here. With each exhale, try to sink a little closer to the ground. One more inhale. And as you exhale, walk the hands now over to the other side of the mat. Press the hands actively into the floor. Draw the right hip away from the right hand. If you like, you can then take the right hand on top of the left. And again, just really tune in with where you feel that. What do you notice in your body? And how does the mind even react to this? Take a nice breath in. And exhale, sink a little closer to the floor. One more inhale, and then exhale, walk the hands back, come up to tabletop, and just pitter-patter the feet for a moment. Maybe wiggle the feet from side to side, wiggle the shoulders, and then tuck the toes under, and let's make our way to a downward dog. We're going to move slowly, lifting the hips up and back, pushing the floor away, keeping a micro bend in the knees as you begin to pedal out the feet. So gently stretching one ankle at a time towards the floor. And keep the arms active here too. Press the fingers into the floor and even squeeze the upper arm a little bit in towards the ear. So you're activating the upper arms. It's not just dumping in. We're really kind of using the whole body here. Take the tailbone up to the sky, look forward and step the right foot up between the legs and drop the left knee down. We're going to come up into a low lunge. keeping this right knee over the foot pressing into the floor. Even the back foot is a little bit active. So we're getting some real kind of control and a little bit of strength built in our foundation here. Let's inhale, take the arms up overhead, big stretch up. Exhale, drop the hands into a box shape, kind of like cactus arms. Lift the heart center and come into a mini back bend. We're thinking of starting the back bend at the base of the spine, curving up and back. Even moving a little bit back is still better. It's going to open up the psoas, get into the left hip flexor. Nice big breath in. Exhale, reach the hands up together and then sweep them forward all the way down to the floor, supporting your weight in your fingertips. We're going to slide back here into a hamstring stretch, a half split, keeping a micro bend in the knee if the hamstrings feel a little tight, and lifting the heart center. We're going to try to avoid dumping forward. So if you need to come forward, try to think of the hip points as drawing back, and then flow forwards and back a couple of times. This is going to help to warm up that right hip. Good. And then come all the way forward. Walk the right foot out to the side of the mat and bring the hands to the inside of the right foot. We're going to let the right knee just roll slowly out to the side and back again. Good. And then we're going to walk the right foot back into the middle. I'm going to tuck the left toes under, press back and come into a plank pose. So we're just going to work on a little bit of core activation here. You can always keep the knees because it still activates the core. I want you to draw the tummy button in, press the floor away, and try not to let the head drop. So think of the back of the head pressing up against an imaginary plank. And then we're going to lower down to the ground, bending the elbows straight into the side of the waist from all the way down, and then stretch out the legs behind you. I'm going to come into a mini cobra, but today I'd like you to try to think of this not just as a back bend. Try to use your core. So draw the tummy button in, as well as when you press up, you're using the back of the core and the front. So we're going to come into this mini back bend. See if you can really activate the front of the rib cage and the back. Look up or forward, and then lift the hands and try to hold that. Wiggle the fingers, and then bring the hands down. Nice. Tuck the toes, lift yourself up and back. Short child's pose, and then make your way back to downward dog. Pedaling out the feet. In downward dog, let's bring our heels together, take the toes wide apart for a little bit of a different stretch for the legs. You're welcome to hold this, or you're also welcome to lift and lower the ankles a couple of times. And then turn the feet around the other way, toes touching, ankles wide apart. You can pedal the feet. And then bring the toes to face forward again. Let's look forward and step the left foot up between the hands and drop down into the low lunge on the second side. We're going to press that foot into the floor. Keep the back right foot a little active. Feel your core, your foundation working here. Then inhale, take the arms up overhead. Big stretch here. Really lengthening through the side of the body. And then drop the arms into this box cactus shape. Lift the heart center, come into a mini back bend. Good. Keep those legs active so we're not kind of just making, we want stability in the hips and the core to help support the back bend. Good. Big inhale, reach the arms up into a prayer position overhead, and then bring the hands down to the floor. Let's slide back into our half split, supporting our weight on our fingers. You can always wiggle the foot forward, keeping a micro bend in the knees, in the knee if the hamstrings are a little tight. Keep the heart center lifted, keep the airways open, and then let's flow forward and back. So we're working into that left hip now. Good. Sometimes this is one of those movement patterns that shows a difference between the right and the left. So just becoming aware of what we've got going on in the body. My left hip definitely feels a little clunkier today. And then let's come all the way forward. Walk the left foot out to the side. Bring the hands into the inside of that left foot. And then let the left hip roll out. So again, small movements are great here, just anything to open up that hip out of its very set usual pattern. Good. And then walk the foot back and step back into plank again. Now for a little bit of strength building, we're going to roll into a side plank. So a couple of options. We can drop the knee, roll into a side plank, reach the right arm, lift through the side waist, actively press the floor away. If you'd like to do the full plank, we can still keep this hip lifted, press the floor away. Big breath in. And then slowly we're going to roll straight to the other side. See if you can make your way up. Reach one knee on the floor. And you can always do a little bit of both. Pressing the hip up, press the right hand strongly into the floor. Big breath in. And then roll over, back to plank. Drop the knees. And let's come back to child's pose again. Dropping the hips over the heels, stretching back. Keeping the knees together, let's sweep the arms around now, down towards the feet. Place the back of the hands on the ground and turn the face to the right. Let the shoulders melt here, down towards the ground. Feel a little bit of space between the shoulder blades on the spine. A little bit of a breather. Good. Inhale. And then slowly with the exhale, make your way up to kneeling. And let's scoot around and bring our feet forward. And let's slowly roll down onto the mat. So when we reach the floor, we're going to hug the knees into the chest and just give ourselves a little massage by rocking from right to left. Place one hand on each knee and do some small circles, massaging the back of the pelvis against the floor. And you can always go slowly into bigger circles here or keep the circles nice and small. So really listening to what feels best. Another nice option, we can all try this, is to put one hand on each kneecap, let the knees fall out, and then do some big circles, butterfly circles with the knees around, and then go back in the opposite direction. Good. Bring the knees together, feet down on the floor, and we'll just work through a couple of bridge poses because it's great for the spine and also building a little bit of core and glute strength. So hands on the floor. We're going to begin by tilting the pelvis in towards you, which helps to lift the base of the spine up off the mat, and then curl the spine up one vertebrae at a time, pressing those feet firmly into the floor. When you reach a good height, you can even walk the heels in a little further and see if you can press up a little bit more, and then roll all the way down. So we're doing this a couple of times to kind of mobilize the spine and get used to the movement. Let's begin again. Inhaling, rolling up. And exhale, rolling down. Okay, this time let's inhale and roll up. And when you reach the top, see if you can shuffle the shoulder blades together underneath you so you can interlace the fingers, pressing the back of the arms firmly into the floor and lift those hips. Let's see if you can firmly press those feet in and lift the hips a little higher. Using the back of the body, let's hold 5, 4, good, 3, 2, 1. Slowly make your way down here, undoing the fingers from underneath you and rolling the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Good. When you reach the mat, hug the knees into the chest again and just give yourself a little massage, rocking gently from left to right. Good, and then stretch the left leg away and hug the right knee in towards the chest. Good. Now we're just going to do a little bit of a spinal twist, but I'd like you to really think about the pelvis today. And instead of trying to get the knee over to the floor, we're going to take the focus more to the hips. Place the hands on the floor with the palms down for support and begin to roll over onto your left, but think of this right hip point as stacking on top of the left. So it doesn't really matter where the right knee goes. We want to think of the rotation through the waist so that the hips can stack. The right arm can reach out onto the floor then if you want to, and if you can go all the way over, feel free, but really use the core and even press the left foot and leg into the ground for some stability, and really think of this pelvis as stacking right on top of left. The final part, if you like, is to turn to look over your right shoulder. So now getting a really nice spinal twist. Try to let the right shoulder drop towards the floor as this right hip is stacked. And close the eyes here. Begin to kind of drop into the pose. Take a couple of nice deep breaths, really slowing everything down now. Good. And then use the core to bring that right knee back to center. Stretch the right knee away, and we'll go straight to the second side. So we're going to hug that left knee in. Give the left knee a squeeze in towards the chest, and then let that go a little bit. Again, we're going to use the hands on the floor, palms down for support, and begin to roll over onto our right hip, and think of the left hip now as stacking on top of the right. So again, we're not just letting the body drop. We're trying to use the core, press the right foot and the right leg against the ground a little bit, and just feel the difference. You could even try dropping in and then going back to using a little bit of activation. Stabilize the hips and just see what you notice. What are the differences you feel? The final part would be to turn the face gently to look over your left arm. And begin to slow down a little bit. Feel a nice twist, stretch from the left shoulder through to the top of the left hip. Good. Take one more breath in, and using the core again, roll onto your back, and now hug both knees in again. So squeezing the knees in towards the chest. And give yourself a little massage, kind of taking the legs around in some circles again. How are we doing for time? And let's place the feet on the floor and come into a figure four stretch for a little bit more of a hip opener. Let's take the right foot over the thigh, sit up and interlace the fingers behind the thigh, and begin to draw the hip in towards you. To deepen the stretch, you can gently press this right thigh away. It's good to do that with the elbow. And you can also do a little couple of pulses here. You might like to just gently bring the knee back and forth, and then hold, draw in. Good. Slowly release, and let's switch over to the other side and cross the left ankle over, interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. Couple of options. You can press that left elbow into the left thigh to deepen the stretch, and then begin to draw the right knee in slowly. And then you can also pulse back and forth, maybe 4 or 5 times, and then hold for a deeper stretch. Good. Release. Come all the way down. And then slowly bring the hands to the floor, palms down. We've got our knees squeezing together, feet are on the floor. And we're going to slowly let the knees roll over to the right. And then come back up and slowly let the knees roll over to the left. Come back to center and hug the knees into the chest one more time. For a little inversion, we're going to take the feet up overhead and come into happy baby pose, wrapping the hands around the soles of the feet. And then it's kind of up to you. You can rock from side to side. You can actively press the foot into the hands and then draw the hands down so you get a deeper stretch, a deeper opening through the inner hip. If you think about it, this is a yogi squat in reverse. So it's kind of a nice way to still get the benefits of the squat without maybe the added effect of gravity. And anytime we get our feet higher than our heart, it's great for the circulation, just helps to slow everything down. Great. Slowly bring the knees together. And let's draw our chin up towards our chest. Wrap the arms around the shins and squeeze yourself into your center. Drawing yourself into a tiny, tiny ball. And then release and prepare for a nice shavasana. So making your way down to the mat, allowing the feet to be about hip width or wider apart, allowing the ankles to relax so the feet fall out to the side. Bring the hands down to the ground so the back of the hand rests gently on the floor and the fingers may gently curl. Feel the back of the head resting on the ground. You might like to just gently tilt the chin, so kind of lift the head up if you need to reposition the back of the head comfortably on the floor. And then even the shoulders, you might need to wiggle the shoulders a little bit so they feel flat against the ground rather than kind of scrunched underneath you. If you need to, it can help to hug the knees into the chest one more time. Give yourself a little massage and then move into Shavasana. We're going to close the eyes softly and begin to let the body sink into the ground supporting you. So this is where gravity becomes your best friend. We don't have to hold ourselves, so we're going to let go of the tension that might still be residing in a couple of pockets, maybe the hips, maybe the shoulders. Try to let everything melt into the ground. Take a nice couple of breaths, so breathing in deeply. And as you exhale, sigh, let it all out, let it all go. And as we enjoy this moment of relaxation, it's a great chance to recharge the batteries. The mind might start to wander. It's quite normal. But if you find yourself quite distracted, just come back to the breath and begin to follow your inhale and your exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now you're welcome to stay in Shavasana if you'd like to. But to finish our class today, I'd like you to, if you want to start moving, just wiggle the fingers and toes very slowly to bring some movement back to the body. Then with an inhale, take a full body stretch, reaching your arms up overhead and point and flex the toes. And then walk the feet in, bending the knees. Bring the hands down and roll over onto your right hand side. Just pausing here for a moment. Before then pushing your hands into the floor and making your way up to sitting, just like we did at the beginning of class. And take your time to get here. And just to finish our practice, let's bring our hands into a prayer position, the Anjali Mudra, at our heart center. So we can pause just to be thankful. I'd like to thank you all for joining this practice today. Have a wonderful evening wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.